In case of Pakistan, the UN resolution has become takya kalam. कि साहब UN resolution कहता है हमारा है. But please go back and have a look at the UN resolution. The resolution got stuck on part 2 not being implemented. Sir, hear me out. Part 2 not being implemented by you. So you implement part 2, then we talk of plebiscite, which is not a term used in the resolution.
Okay, let's implement number 1 first. Yes.
Which supports the idea of implementing the UN resolution. But आप withdraw तो करें.
नहीं तो आप नहीं withdraw करेंगे क्या? Aren't you going to withdraw as well? Highest concentration of armed forces, civilian ratio anywhere in the world.
Sir, why don't you?
Read the UN resolution.
So why don't you?
Sir, don't read the version given to you by ISPR. Read the UN resolution which is on the net, and then ask yourself who should
You want to believe in your own rhetoric.
I don't blame your position. You seem not only confused, but you are totally rattled today after Narendra Modi's speech. But the issue is,
do I look rattled?
Resolution
Do I look
and
rattled?
plebiscite, all these things can be spoken. There's a lot to be done by Pakistan to move the plebiscite issue. So let's forget that. But try and understand, for last 60 years, there is a government democratically elected in Jammu and Kashmir. You're not doing that also in the POK. Here we are.
Absolutely.
We are democratically elected, and the people of Jammu and Kashmir have supported this government. And they are being held.
What was the turnout?
And the
What was the turnout? What was the turnout?
No doubt they are part
What
of the
was the turnout in Jammu and Kashmir?
citizens, but they are separatists. You want to talk to them? They have no role in democracy.
Till
they don't join the
500,000 troops looking after the democracy in Kashmir. That is their quality of
the Jammu and
democracy.
Kashmir cannot be represented by them.
I think it's my turn now to speak.
Don't give us the quality what is existing in Pakistan. Don't give us.
No, I'm just comparing.
Let me remind
let's
you
come
of the
back.
clause
Let's
in your
come back to
1974
Mr. Modi's
Constitution, though you have
speech
full
at the UN General Assembly.
Many of you, I believe, swear by the 1974 Constitution, which says that for the people of POK, any other idea other than joining the Union of Pakistan is an act of treason. At least our Constitution doesn't say that. We give them the freedom to make choices.
Okay, we are not discussing Pakistan's internal dynamics. Let's talk about Mr. Modi's speech that he has made. And I have heard that speech, and let me tell you, honestly speaking, it was disappointing as far as I am concerned. A bigger portion of the speech told me what I learned in class 4th, that India is a 5,000-year civilization, and India is this, and multicultural, multi-this. Fine. Then he talks about, let's talk to the issue of Pakistan. He says that he, from day one, extended arm of friendship, whatever I understood in Hindi. From 26th May till today, 28th September, 4 months have passed. The only thing he has done is negative by suspending the talks with Pakistan. Where is that arm of friendship? Indian Prime Ministers talk about so many other actions at such international bodies, but when they go home, they succumb to the domestic pressure. They do not talk about it. And what is the definition of terrorism? You have another definition, we have another definition. So let a third party decide. You don't accept third party.
I ask you 3 questions.
Arnab, listen to me. You have to give me time. I've heard a lot of, irresponsible statements from your panelists about Pakistan, about my Prime Minister making. My Prime Minister made an excellent speech yesterday. He addressed everything. He did not beat about the bush. I mean, you are talking about those things in which you don't believe. Indian politics, Indian diplomacy has 3 faces. There is one face you want to show to the world, which is very good. There is other face which others look into you, which is very ugly. Accept that. And there is one which is actual face of India. Please listen, be focused. Don't try to raise your stature to a limit that nobody in the world agrees.
I urge you this today.
No. This is, you are taking things beyond reason, beyond their,
look at
dynamics.
It without 3 attributes. Sir, I urge you today. Sir, I urge you today. I urge you today, sir, look at the speech without prejudice, without past bitterness.
Honestly,
And
I
without
haven't
a
learned
fixed
anything
mindset.
new in
And
that.
I'm going to run a small clip out
I
here
expected
on what
some
Narendra
initiative
Modi
from your
speaks
new
on the
Prime
issue
Minister.
of terrorism.
That what has he done to...
Sir,
tell me, what has India done to create peace in the
Sir, let
region,
me tell you
in the
what's
world?
new.
What is your contribution?
Sir,
if it is
let me
nothing,
tell you,
then don't talk big about what he has
Let
said.
me tell you what's new. No, what? Let me tell you. Let me tell you what's new. Sir, you understand this. Sir, please just give me. Sir, आप मुझे बस 30 सेकंड दे दें. तारिक अजीम साहब और आप आबिद राव जी, आप दोनों आज बहुत ही ज्यादा अग्रेसिव मूड में आए हैं हमारे प्रोग्राम में, हमें लगता है.
आप बहुत अनरीजनेबल बातें कर रहे हैं.
कभी तारिक अजीम जी तो वैसे काफी काफी एक काम मिजाज के आदमी हैं, मगर आज तो वो एकदम जो कहते हैं तारिक अजीम जी, आप तो बिल्कुल स्लीव्स रोल्ड अप ओके आए आपके स्टूडियो में. आप सूट तो पहने हुए हैं, मगर आपको लगता है आप यू कम विद स्लीव्स रोल्ड अप. आई वांट टू रन अ स्मॉल क्लिप, just a small clip, because what does Modi say on the issue of terrorism? Sir, just read. What did Sharif say yesterday? What did Sharif say? Sharif always says that 50,000 Pakistanis have lost their lives. Always, right? And thousands have suffered injuries, our economy has suffered, and our economy has lost hundreds of billions of dollars in direct cost, denied investment opportunities, etc., etc. Now, sir, I'm going to run this small clip of what Narendra Modi says on terrorism. When Narendra Modi addresses the issue of terrorism, he says there is no explanation on the issue of terrorism. You can't have good terrorism or bad terrorism. And the international community needs to address the issue of terrorism without any discrimination or without any attribute of whether it's good or bad. Sir, आप जरा ये small clip, I'm going to play it out, इसको जरा सुन ले, उसके बाद we'll discuss whether he has effectively been able to counter Nawaz Sharif on the issue of terrorism without going into, the kind of lengthy prose that the generals wrote for Sharif yesterday. Small clip.
विश्व बड़े स्तर के तनाव व उथल-पुथल की स्थितियों से गुजर रहा है. बड़े युद्ध नहीं हो रहे हैं, परंतु तनाव एवं संघर्ष सब दूर नजर आ रहा है, बहुतेरे हैं. शांति का अभाव है तथा भविष्य के प्रति अनिश्चितता है. आज भी व्यापक रूप से गरीबी फैली हुई है. एक होता हुआ एशिया प्रशांत क्षेत्र, एशिया पैसिफिक रीजन अभी भी समुद्रीवर्ती सुरक्षा, जो कि इसके भविष्य के लिए आधारभूत महत्व रखती है, को लेकर बहुत चिंतित है. यूरोप के सम्मुख नए विभाजन का खतरा मंडरा रहा है. पश्चिम एशिया में विभाजक रेखाएं और आतंकवाद बढ़ रहे हैं. हमारे अपने क्षेत्र में आतंकवाद के अस्थिरताकारी खतरे से जूझना जारी है. हम पिछले 4 दशक से इस संकट को झेल रहे हैं. आतंकवाद नए नए रूप और नाम से प्रकट होता जा रहा है. इसके खतरे से छोटा या बड़ा, उत्तर में हो या दक्षिण में, पूरब में हो या पश्चिम में, कोई भी देश मुक्त नहीं है. मुझे याद है जब मैं 20 साल पहले विश्व के कुछ नेताओं से मिलता था और आतंकवाद की चर्चा करता था, तो उनको ये बात गले नहीं उतरती थी. वो कहते थे तो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम है. लेकिन धीरे धीरे आज पूरा विश्व देख रहा है कि आतंकवाद किस प्रकार के फैलाव करता चला जा रहा है. परंतु क्या हम वाकई इन ताकतों से निपटने के लिए सम्मिलित रूप से ठोस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय प्रयास कर रहे हैं? और मैं मानता हूं यह सवाल बहुत गंभीर है. आज भी कई देश आतंकवादियों को अपने क्षेत्र में पनाह दे रहे हैं और आतंकवाद को अपनी नीति का उपकरण मानते हैं. और जब गुड टेररिज्म एंड बैड टेररिज्म ये बातें सुनने को मिलती है, तब तो आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ने की हमारी निष्ठाओं पर भी सवाल या निशान खड़े होते हैं. पश्चिम एशिया में आतंकवाद की पाशविकतापूर्ण वापसी तथा दूर और पास के देशों पर इसके प्रभाव को ध्यान में रखते हुए सम्मिलित कार्यवाही का स्वागत करते हैं, परंतु इसमें क्षेत्र के सभी देशों की भागीदारी और समर्थन अनिवार्य है। अगर हम टेररिज्म से लड़ना चाहते हैं तो क्यों न सबकी भागीदारी हो, क्यों न सबका साथ हो और क्यों न उस बात पर आग्रह किया जाए।
Why not everybody come together?
Okay, so Tariq Azim, you know, that's the kind of response that he gave you on the issue of terrorism. Because yesterday, you know, the script that the generals wrote for Pakistan, the script that General Rahil gave Nawaz Sharif, and which Nawaz Sharif very, in a very disciplined and obedient manner read out, talked about this whole business of, terrorism and what Pakistan had done, etc. Today Modi is just good terrorism, bad terrorism counters this whole argument that we've had terrorism planted on our soil. He raised it to another level, Mr. Azim.
Nab, I like the way when you try to be a comedian and tell jokes. Fair enough. I mean, that is allowed. You are the anchor, so you can say what you like. But you should not. You should have also played the clip from Nawaz Sharif.
I don't know, sir. Why would you call your Prime Minister's script now a comedy, sir? I mean, we found it satirical. I would say it's satirical, but I'm not sure if it would be correct for you to describe your Prime Minister's speech as that of a comedian. But if you choose to do so, sir, because I only read out your Prime Minister's speech. If you choose to call your Prime Minister's speech a stand-up act, then you can do so, sir.
You must be, let me finish please. You must be hiding underneath the table when Rahil Sharif was writing the speech. That's all I can say. I do not know this. Maybe you know something that I do not know. Anyway, let me say this. If you wanted to play the tape, please do play what Nawaz Sharif had to say yesterday. There is nobody has said there is anything like good terrorists and bad terrorists. What do you think we are doing in Waziristan today? Do you think our ground forces and our air force are going there for joyride? Do you think what the action we are taking against terrorists? Why do you think we are taking the action against terrorists? You should be appreciating that. If we are playing games with you or games with anybody else, or we wanted to harbor them in our land, we will not be taking action against them. You should have appreciated that. But you should have also played the clip of me and Nawaz Sharif saying that you should please also play that clip where he said terrorism, we will not tolerate it in this shape and form under any manifestation. That's what he said yesterday.
We played it ad nauseum yesterday.
You ignore that.
We played it ad nauseum yesterday. We played it ad nauseum yesterday because Nawaz Sharif said, and yesterday what did he say? The sum and substance, Maruf, and I'd like to get your views on this.
Our Prime Minister never said anything like that.
So the sum and substance of what Nawaz Sharif said yesterday was, the sum and substance was we had terrorism planted on our soil, and I want to know, sir, from you, which American drone carried Hafiz Saeed and planted him on your soil? Which American drone planted the Haqqani brothers on your soil? Which American drone planted the ISI on your soil? Because obviously these, as far as we know, these are all homegrown entities who are now at the forefront of terrorism, not just in the subcontinent, but globally. Now, what principally has Narendra Modi done? He's countered that with a very clear question mark over good and bad terror, Maruf. Absolutely. And by the way, Ray Loker joins us. Ray Loker is editor USA Today. Good morning, Ray.
Hey, Arnab, how are you?
Ray. Good to talk to you.
Good to be here.
Good to talk to you. We'll be coming to you in some time. Maruf, would you like to respond to
let me sort of just put the facts out. I think Mr. Azim and the Air Marshal both know it, but just to jog your memory a bit, sir. I mean, if Mr. Nawaz Sharif yesterday referred to the fact that Pakistan has a problem battling terror planted on its soil, there was no mention of terror groups that continue to operate in Pakistan with impunity, with tacit support from your military. And I'm not saying it This was recorded conversation of General Kayani when he was on record to say that will use these as strategic assets. Musharraf was again on record to say that I can unleash thousands of terrorists if I wish to, when I want to spoil the peace process. Right now there is a peace process
as well of that recording,
so I'm keeping them under a leash. And your own journalists such as Mr. Amit, sir, please hear me out, had said that, how can you turn on and off the tap against battle against terrorism? You don't like what Western writers say, and I can quote Carlota Gall and Stephen Tankel and so many others.
Bruce Rydell for that matter.
But what about your own people? Ahmed Rashid, Imtiaz Gul, Murtaza Razvi, Aisha Siddiqa,
Hussein Haqqani, unless they disown Hussein Haqqani as not a Pakistani.
All have gone on public with their documented records of interviews, and most recently by the lady who's written a book on the Pakistan Army from Georgetown University, Fighting to the Finish, where she was given visa by your authorities to go and research in Pakistan.
Maruf, why don't you quote of dozens of other writers as well?
You are saying you're victims of terror.
You only quote from people that suit you.
But you're victims of homegrown terror. I don't say it. The Rand Corporation report says it, that those terrorists are biting the hands that fed them. So please address that issue. Let us not get into finger pointing at each other. At least we don't sponsor terror groups that operate on your land. Sadly, our people are victims of those terror groups that you have decided to use as strategic assets.
What service are you doing to the peace in the region? Why don't you bring out something positive? Tell me any contribution that the new Indian Prime Minister has made towards peace in the region. Suspending talks is the most negative thing that your government can do or your media can do.
You forget all that. I mean, that's also been internationally reported. Why don't you quote from that?
Air Marshal in his speech, he said very clearly that we want everyone to participate in the well-being of Kashmir and in the fight against the floods, the devastation.
Because India refuses to talk about it. If you are so guilty, you are so shy of talking of Kashmir, where does Pakistan go? We will go to any channel, we will use any element, we will at diplomatic level, non-diplomatic level. I mean, India doesn't listen to any reason, any rationale, any logic. Because that is a disputed territory. That is a flashpoint, nuclear flashpoint declared by all Western countries. If you don't recognize that, you are in a state of great denial. Your Prime Minister today has said that you want to talk to Pakistan. What happened last month when he suspended the talks to Pakistan? I mean, you go back on your steps, you take another step, and you still remain the champion. I fail to understand your logic.
You can either talk to separatists or you can talk to an elected government.
I think Abid Rao raises a question.
You can either talk to separatists or an elected government.
Abid Rao raises a question. And since this broadcast, Air Marshal Abid Rao, is being followed not just in India but in Pakistan and in 46 countries around the world, I think your question cannot go unanswered or unrebutted. So the question which you ask is, since he came to power, what has Narendra Modi done to facilitate friendship with Pakistan? Now, sir, please hear me for just 30 seconds. Bas 30 seconds aap sun le. And after that, the sleeves rolled up, Tariq Azim and Abid Rao can respond. Sir, I'd like to bring to your attention, it was the Modi government and it was Modi who invited your Prime Minister to his swearing-in ceremony. Point number one. Point number two, it was the Modi government and Mr. Modi who extended a very solid olive branch to Pakistan by starting what he said should be a fruitful dialogue process. No, watch it. Point number two, it was the Modi government. Now I'm on point number three. It was the Modi government and Mr. Modi who agreed to not just facilitate but hold and if required host foreign secretary level talks upon a request from the Pakistani Prime Minister. Now point number four. I think Mr. Abid Rao can't go unrebutted on this one, Maruf. It was the Modi government
your 30 seconds
and
Mr.
Mr. Modi who decided that the foreign secretary level talks must start even before the 100-day window, of the government was over. Now, 4 things I told you that were done. I don't think any government can do more than this. What did you revert with? You went and met the Hurriyat.
They are meaningless because he then suspended whatever he had done.
Serious with you. And by the way, you say shy away from Kashmir.
Invitation extended to Pakistan.
I mean, you take 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. And you say you have done 4 positive things.
Statement mila hai, which is with me today.
For God's sake, Arnab, be reasonable, be honest.
Shying away from it.
This is the peace
is on page
for
2,
this region that is at stake. 1.5 billion Indians and 200 million Pakistanis. And you got such irresponsible media.
One other
you
point.
are only provocating people.
Sir, please hear me. Just a quick point. Sir, please.
Arnab,
please. One quick point. Marshal.
Yes.
When Nawaz Sharif came to Delhi,
30 seconds
he didn't meet the Hurriyat
for the last
leaders.
2 minutes.
And that time
I don't
he
know
was
why you need
politically
other participants in your program.
He went back, he was embattled, and then your High Commissioner spoils the atmosphere by meeting the Hurriyat leaders. So the point at issue is that if Nawaz Sharif did not meet them, why did your High Commissioner go ahead and meet them and spoil the atmosphere?
Because
then you say India called off the top.
Minister,
I've answered this question. It is happening for last 20 years.
New Delhi,
did Indian government wake up only this
going to get you Kashmir on a platter?
One sec, Tariq Asim, let them respond.
Let me state some facts, please. Our Prime Minister, as you said quite rightly, he was invited for the inauguration. It was not on the agenda that he was going to meet any Kashmiri leaders, any Hurriyat leaders. That's why he did not meet. That's point number 1. Number 2, you know that Hurriyat leaders regularly meet Pakistan High Commissioner, and this was nothing new. So you should not have been so much upset about it so as to cancel the talks, of which you're taking so much credit, that this was something that came out of Mr. Modi's good heart, that he had started this dialogue.
Sir. The red lines were drawn.
When?
You were told
you
not
don't
to
give,
do it.
you,
That's
please.
the point. You were told that you gave the mood in Delhi.
Please.
That this is a new government.
You gave.
It is not going to pussyfoot around the issue of Kashmir. You were told that.
You gave him 15 minutes.
Had you accepted
15
that,
minutes.
we would now be raising the level of talks to foreign minister and then prime minister. You spoiled the party,
That's
sir.
great.
We didn't.
If you do that, we will welcome it. He was given 15 minutes. He was told either them or us. You decide who you want to talk to. That was what was told to Commissioner Basit. This was never the case that you had stated a policy statement, made a policy statement, which you had already let us know that please do not meet these leaders. I can understand if that would have happened, you might have a point, but that was not the case. You know that call was made to High Commissioner Basit 15 minutes before, and he was told that either talk to them or not.
One last point. Please.
And even the senior voices within India, senior voices, please, let me finish this. Let me finish this.
You know,
no, please. Please.
Mr. Azim, as High Commissioner, you have to have your nose to the ground. You should have read the mood with the new government. Otherwise, the High Commissioner was not doing his job, but partying and socializing with those who like to scratch his back and make him feel like a social elite in some limited circles in Delhi.
Even in your India itself,
needed a phone call from the Foreign Office.
I'd like to urge our Pakistani participants here to just
there were people like Badra Kumar, a diplomat, a seasoned ambassador. I'm happy. I never lose my temper. I'm in perfect good mood.
नहीं तारिक अजीम जी आप बहुत ही नहीं आप तारिक अजीम जी at a personal level I have great regard for you. आप बहुत ही good natured हैं, आप बहुत ही खुशमिजाज व्यक्ति हैं, मगर मैं आपसे बस एक गुजारिश करना चाहता हूं कि आप एक बात मेरे से सुन लें. जो हमें फीलिंग हो रही है कि आपको ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं हो रही है इस वक्त कि gone are the days when a government headed by Manmohan Singh, when India displayed more than a charitable amount of grace. Okay? When India spoke to Pakistan despite beheadings of our soldiers, right? Despite violence on our borders, despite Islamabad aided terrorism on our soil. So I feel, sir, that this speech, especially through its crispness and its subtleties, has sent a message to Islamabad that New Delhi is not going to back down at all unless we get a commitment, a sworn commitment from you, which is followed up by you. And we will do everything possible, including use our immense global clout, to force you to make that commitment to us. सारा जो माहौल है इंडिया में बदल चुका है और हमारी जो अप्रोच हो गई है ग्लोबल डिप्लोमेसी में, आप सुन लीजिए मोदी जी के स्पीच में, वो एक इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर की है. जी प्लीज गो अहेड.
अर्नाब जी आप सुने, अब अर्नाब सुने प्लीज. देखें आप, ठीक है, you have a big cloud, there's no doubt about that, you have international cloud, but please, for God's sake, don't underestimate Pakistan. Please don't. Do it, you'll do it at your own cost. Do not do that. Do not overplay your hand. We also have some clout, and we are both nuclear powers.
So threat weight तो नहीं चलेगा.
No longer नहीं बाबा, नहीं threat की बात नहीं है.
Diminishing.
All I'm trying to say is you constantly say this, that maybe you are a very big player. Please, आपका hegemony नहीं चलेगा. We will not accept your hegemony. We will accept your friendship. We will accept you as our good neighbor.
We are.
But what we will not accept is your hegemony. We will not accept your hegemony in this region.
Sure.
We are both nuclear powers. No option of any more wars. Okay, this is the reality of life.
मैंने क्यों? No, sir. There is there is no concept of hegemony. No, sir. Tariq Azim ji, I can assure you, the India and the Indian people have no interest in hegemony. बस मैं ये बात कह रहा हूं, and I'd like to get Ray Locker into the conversation. Ray, I'm sorry, I did not intend to keep you out of the conversation, though I must say sometimes that we get very involved in these exchanges with our Pakistani counterparts because we have been trying over many years unsuccessfully towards making a few points evident to them. All I was telling our Pakistani interlocutors, in case you missed a bit of the exchange which was happening in my bad Urdu and Hindi, was that there was a time when 4 months after the serial blast in Mumbai, at a SAARC summit in the Maldives, Dr. Singh, Manmohan Singh, said that Yusuf Raza Gilani, the Pakistani Prime Minister, is a man of peace. Now that was a very sort of I would say, over-generous approach towards the Pakistanis, and we find a more matter-of-fact, crisp approach from Narendra Modi towards Pakistan. Now, Ray, not just on what towards Pakistan, but overall, how did you view Mr. Modi's speech at the UNGA, his debut speech?
Well, I thought he communicated the message that he needed to. Obviously, this was his debut speech. He wanted to counter what Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif said yesterday. I thought that he laid out the points that he wanted to do quite well. Leave that up to the other panelists to determine whether it was to the Pakistanis' liking or to the liking of most Indians. But, he clearly had a message that he needed to send. He did that. And he's going to keep doing it while he's in New York and it comes down to Washington.
Well, I think so. And how do you think it's going to go down with the Americans, Ray? Because we feel here that he's actually offering America a choice of a partnership, not just at a regional, but actually at a global level. Do you think America will bite the bullet?
Well, I think the relationship between India and the United States is only getting stronger and stronger. I mean, we've talked about this over the last few years, and obviously there have been bumps in the road. The whole diplomatic row last year with Devyani was a big problem. I don't think it was intentional, but it was a problem nevertheless. I think when you look at the itinerary that the Prime Minister has in the United States, all of the business leaders that he's meeting with, all of the government officials, it's clear that the two countries have a lot in common. India is is already a huge economic power. It's getting stronger all the time. The relationships between the United States and India keep getting stronger. I mean, you look at all the stuff around Bangalore, the tech industry, the medical industry. It's very important, and I think U.S. policymakers realize that. And I think they're going to keep doing that when the Prime Minister is in Washington.
Right. Well, I take your point. Now we are going to go back to the debate, but I'll take a very small break and just food for thought, and not just to the Pakistani participants of the program. And Brajesh, I'm really sorry to keep you waiting. I'm going to be coming to you in such a time. Now, why does Modi talk about terrorism? He talks about terrorism and good and bad terrorism because, and this is from the Indian context, we know that Pakistan has always tried to masquerade terrorists as some kind of freedom fighters, which they're obviously not. Now, at a time when the whole world is seized by unique new challenges posed by terrorism and ISIS, Modi's question to the international community is very sincere. He is demanding a very honest introspection from the international community about the double standards of a lot of people, including, if I may say so, the Americans, on the war on terror. And that's I think, a point which even America will be more open to be looking at right now. I'll take a small break. The debate continues on the other side. This is a special edition of the News Hour Tonight.